Welcome back, everyone, to the CX Pulse podcast. I'm your host, Amelia Rose Earhart. On today's show, we kick off the first in a series of 3 episodes in which we're exploring the evolution of customer experience and what it means for the 3 stakeholders of CX: customers, agents, and brands. With us today is Craig Kennedy from Aragon Research. So welcome to the show, Craig. Why don't you tell our audience a little bit about yourself and what you do with Aragon Research?
Great. Thank you, Amelia. And it's really great to be here. So I am the Senior Director of Research here at Aragon, and I lead the coverage areas for conversational AI, security, and cloud computing. So Aragon Research is headquartered here in Silicon Valley, California, and we just celebrated our 12th anniversary just a little while back. So been around for a while. We provide research and advisory services for our clients across the globe, ranging from startups to some of the largest technology companies that are out there. Our company mission statement is we help our clients, and that really is our North Star at Aragon Research. We keep focused on always doing what's best for our clients to make them successful.
Well, Craig, we want to say congratulations on hitting that 12-year milestone. That's a big deal. And of course, you're covering some of the hottest topics that are out there right now. So in our conversation today, we're going to talk a lot about discussion of the impact of customer experience on brand loyalty. Why don't you give us a quick overview of customer interactions and why experiences are so important to customer loyalty from your perspective?
Sure, absolutely. So in a nutshell, customer experience interactions are all the touch points between customers and the business. It includes all interactions through the entire customer journey, from pre-sales all the way to post-sales and beyond. Interactions can be on any communication channel, including phone calls, emails, chats, messaging, social media interactions, and even web searches, as well as visits to company websites or even using mobile apps. So the quality and ease of these interactions are really critical because they can significantly impact customer satisfaction, loyalty, and advocacy. Research shows that people receiving an excellent customer experience are over 80% likely to recommend your brand to others and over 90% likely to re-engage with your brand for additional purchases or services. On the other hand, people receiving a negative customer experience can result in the loss of a customer or even cause damage and harm to your brand reputation. So only 13% of customers report they continue with the brand following a bad experience, and a whopping 62% say they wouldn't re-engage with the brand following a poor experience.
Yep, boy, Craig, I relate to all of that. Of course, it's hugely important not only to the customer, but also the impact of the success of the overall business and the brand. So why don't you provide us some context on the current state of customer experience and how it's changing as we head through 2023?
Sure, I'd be happy to. So let me use 2 examples to really illustrate the 2 ends of the spectrum of what a customer might experience when interacting with a business. And let's start with a poor one that unfortunately years ago used to be all too common in experience. And I suspect we've all had bad experiences when contacting a business looking for support. Some of my more memorable negative experiences are when engaging a cable company or maybe an airline. This is where you have to spend time searching for a support number, which are hard to find. When you finally do find it and place the call, you have to go and enter all the information to identify who you are, why you're calling, only to find out that you're number 36 in the queue with an expected wait time of 45 minutes, right? I think we've all been there.
Yeah.
Some businesses offer the option of calling you back, so you don't have to spend time listening to all that wonderful music they've pre-selected for you to listen to while you're on hold. And they may direct you to the bot on their website. So you decide to forego that 45-minute wait, take a shot with the bot, have to re-enter all that information once more, all about yourself and why you called, only to find out the bot's very limited in its capabilities. So you're pretty determined, don't give up easily, spend some time trying to talk to the bot, end up rewording questions to find a way to talk to the bot in a way that it understands, and finally give up and say, it's just not working. Call back, get in the queue, only to find out that now the expected wait time is over an hour. So not a very friendly experience. We've all been there. And surprisingly, there are still businesses out there living in the past with these sort of customer interactions that are still in place.
Yep. That all sounds so horrible, so relatable, Craig. I know I've got to make a call this afternoon and I'm already thinking, what's that account number and how am I going to find it? And so many of us
Yeah.
have had at least one experience like this. I know I've had so many through the years.
Yeah, and just to be clear, I used an example of a support call because we've all been there. It's not just support. We're seeing examples of poor customer experiences, across the spectrum from pre-sales to post-sales to support, appointment settings. It occurs across all industry verticals and all use cases. So contrast that incredibly frustrating experience that I just described with being able to reach out to a business over your favorite channel. The business quickly verifies who you are with a few simple questions, and in some cases already knows who you are and just needs a final security verification. They already know about any prior purchases or appointments or any supported interactions you've had with them. So they don't have to re-ask those questions from scratch. And they're able to get your issue identified and addressed quickly and seamlessly. It's a much more satisfying experience because it feels like they've actually taken the time and effort to try to find out who you are and have a better understanding of why you may be reaching out to contact them.
Yep, you are describing my favorite type of interaction and experience. It's such a huge difference in terms of customer experience. So why don't you tell us what technologies are enabling this evolution and how we got here?
Sure. So really breaking it down, there are three key changes that have really brought us to this point where those customer interactions can really be an enjoyable experience and actually put a smile on your face. The first thing is access. So most customers today have a favorite social media platform or some preferred way of communicating, and they'd rather use that than be forced to use a completely different method when reaching out to a company. It's just more natural for them. So to address this, some of the leading technology providers have embraced the concept of omnichannel communication, leaving the customer's touch point for communicating completely up to them. Customers can choose their preferred channel, whether that's calling, texting, chatting, connecting through their favorite social media platform, or even beginning the journey with a simple web search. It really doesn't matter. And because it's fully omnichannel, the customer can change channels midstream and all the information is still all there. So very easy, flexible, frictionless access. Really gone are the days when a company gets to dictate how someone contacts them.
Boy, and that feels good. And it makes so much sense is really everyone I know has their favorite way of communicating with their family and their friends. So it's great they can use their favorite channel when it comes to businesses as well. Now, you mentioned that there are three key changes. What's the second critical element that's helping improve customer experience interactions?
Sure. So the second item is artificial intelligence. And there have been some huge improvements in AI technology in the last several years. And it's really had an impact on customer experience. The big technology change within AI was the introduction of neural network large language models that had pre-trained on very large industry-specific knowledge corpuses. Now that's a mouthful, but this powerful creation of intelligent virtual agents that can understand context and maintain a conversation flow. For example, if a user is interacting with an intelligent virtual agent and changes the subject mid-conversation, the AI can recognize the change and adjust its response to the new topic. And then once that new topic is addressed, it can seamlessly return back to the original conversation topic and continue on. Now, this is really similar to how humans communicate. We have an interrupt-driven conversation style where we'll pick up the topic that we want to talk about and then revert back to what we were talking about before. So taking this and then applying new training methods with high-level knowledge and models that are trained on very large industry-specific data sets, these models can gain expertise within that specific industry as delivered right out of the box. Having this deep industry-specific training as a foundation, these virtual agents can then be fine-tuned by training on an organization's internal data sources. And those things can range from internal knowledge bases, product information, and even the previous customer interactions can be used as training data for training that model so that it understands the specific terminology and processes that are unique to a specific business. Now, this has really enabled these intelligent virtual agents to successfully support customers in a self-service fashion, even for pretty complex issues that have nonlinear conversations. And for those customers that still prefer to interact with a human agent, and there are some, These intelligent virtual agents can act in an agent assist or co-pilot role, listening in on the interactions between the customer and the agent and providing real-time expert guidance to the agent on how best to address the customer issue. All of these AI advancements have combined to enable a really natural conversational interaction between a customer and an agent, whether that agent is virtually human, and that can identify and address the customer needs that much faster.
Yeah, and we can really feel those improvements taking place pretty quickly over time. And these improvements in AI are just astounding. What's that third key element that has helped improve the customer experience?
Sure. So the third key ingredient is data. So data can be spread across different systems. However, they typically reside in things like CRM systems, contact centers, databases, and any other system or record. It really doesn't matter. So queries are made to one or more of these systems initially just to match up the identity of the user. Once that user is identified, all the data needed to personalize the customer experience is retrieved across all the different systems. Now, by knowing all the information about the customer, things like the customer's profile, their preferences, any products and services they currently have, and any previous journeys they've experienced, will enable adjustment to the current customer's journey to make it far more personal. For example, if the customer had called in recently about an issue, the first thing you may want to do is ask if they're calling back about that same issue. This makes that engagement far more personal because you know about them and as it progresses along.
Boy, that's for sure. So, Craig, just to make sure that we're really hearing you thoroughly, you're saying that combining these three elements, access, AI, and data, the customer experience can be greatly improved.
Yep, exactly, precisely. Yeah, combining all three of these items together makes for an easy touch point for the customer, an optimized and natural flowing conversation with an agent, whether virtually human, and it provides the right solution at the right time and delivered with a personal touch. So the customer isn't burdened with having to provide information that the agent should already know, and it makes for an exceptional customer experience. Now, this really dramatic improvement is possible when businesses choose solutions that understand the importance of optimizing the entire customer experience through journey orchestration, beginning with the initial touch point and then continuing to be managed all the way through final resolution. And the end result being a happy customer that's loyal to your brand and actually looks forward to re-engaging with you.
Yep, a happy customer is one that's going to stick around. Boy, well, Craig, it sounds like the best of outcomes overall, both for the customer as well as for the business. So this has been a really great conversation overall, and we really want to thank you for joining us today. As we wrap up, why don't you let our listeners know where they can learn more about you as well as Aragon Research?
Well, sure. So listeners can get more information about Aragon Research on our website, and that's at aragonresearch.com. It's ARAGON research.com. And they can even sign up on our guest network on the website for a free trial with access to samples of the research we provide to our clients. So thank you once again, Amelia, for hosting me. It was a pleasure being here.
Wonderful. Craig, thanks so much for being on the CX Pulse podcast. Thank you so much for joining us on the CX Pulse podcast. Stay tuned for upcoming episodes. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe and leave a 5-star review. This podcast is brought to you by NICE, the world's leading cloud CX platform. Go to nice.com to learn more about our innovative and comprehensive end-to-end CX solutions. That's nice.com.